creative power and energy. Why is it important? Why did you want Black women to see themselves in that way?
It's probably a selfish point because I wanted to see myself that way. I was just thinking, well, if I was creating myself, what would I do? And I'd have to take these elements, certain elements from Earth, and how would I put them together? And of course, you know, the tears from the Nile, I wrote this before I had a child, but anybody that's had a child, you know, you could probably cry. No, it hurts. Something big comes out.
Did y'all catch that?
Yeah. A little comfortable. I had a cesarean. Before anybody corrects me, but I had a cesarean. I'm fond of that because it slip, you know, cut you up and take it out. And you don't die, you get
Your mother just the same. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We were also talking about the recent documentary, Going to Mars, on HBO Max.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. What do you think about it?
I thought they did a great job. It's not my documentary. It actually belongs to Michelle Stevenson and Joe Brewster. And they called, actually Jenny, who was here, some of you know Jenny, and Jenny runs that part of our business. And they asked Jenny if they could do a documentary with my work. And Jenny thought it was a good idea. She said, oh yes, but I need to ask, that's the kind of project, you know, she has to ask about. She didn't have to ask about, do you want to go to Norfolk? But she has to ask about. She can't let her yes. But she, you know, came and we sat down because we talk every day. And she said, you know, I think it's a good idea. And I said, I know. Because I think, you know, documentaries are done when people are dead. And I'm not dead. I don't want to do it, no. And then we have our attorney is Gloria, and I've been with Gloria for 50 years. I've known Gloria longer than I've known anyone on earth now. And so I said, well, I'll call Gloria, see what she thinks. And I called Gloria, and Gloria has a name, Nick, you should do it. And so I was outvoted. It's only 3 people in the company, and 2 of them voted yes. So that was it, and so we agreed. And what I did, and I can say that to any of the artists in the room, what I did that was incredibly brilliant of me was to stay out of the way.
Yeah.
Because I'm a writer. I don't know how to make film. I don't know anything about it. So I just, yes, we're going to do it. You tell me what to do, and I'm going to stay out of the way. And it really is a good film. Michelle, I give Michelle more credit than Joe on a lot of it. But Michelle had a concept of what she wanted to show about me, and I didn't see it. I mean, everybody had seen it when it won. It won first prize at Sundance.
Give it up, everybody.
But I hadn't seen it. You know, I was the only person that hadn't seen it. And again, it was just good for me to leave it alone. I didn't see it until it came to the New York premiere, and then we went to the London premiere, and I was there. But and I liked it. I thought they did a good job. But it's hard to see yourself. You're not used to seeing yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, and I say this to all the writers in the room. We are just not used to seeing ourselves on film. And so all of a sudden you look out, and the first thing I thought was, you know, my God, she has a Southern accent.
That was you.
Yeah, I didn't realize what a Southern accent I had. And I do. You know, everybody probably knows it but me. And then I thought, isn't she pretty? You see your face every day, and so it's normal. But then when you look at your face when you were 20, 25 years old, I said, wow, she was pretty. I have to look at her a couple more times. I drink champagne. I'm gonna, you know, when I get off this tour, we're on a tour right now, but when I get off, and I'm gonna sit down at home and see the little things that you miss, because you have to see anything like that. You have to see several times. I treat books the same way, by the way. I read, because luckily I'm a poet, because you always reread the poetry. You know, you reread it. And I do the same with books. I'm reading James McBride right now, and Heaven and Earth Grocery Stores is an incredible. If you haven't read it, you should. It's incredible.
Someone out there is clapping, they know.
Yeah, he's really good. I'm gonna. They said I've met him, but I'm old and so I forget. I'm gonna look him up again because I think he's wonderful. And of course, lately, and he's a friend. Jericho Brown has been doing really just wonderful work in the Atlantic and the what is that place? New Yorker.
Yes.
And I really like what he's doing. But of course, my former student was like my literary son, and I love him so much. Kwame Alexander.
Kwame Alexander, give it up, he's fantastic.
Incredibly good work, and he and I, well, he's like a son. He and I are just tracing each other around the world. And so he came over to London for the London premiere, but he had to be back the next day for his daughter because she plays soccer. Somebody plays soccer. So he came over for our premiere. He's there, you walk the red carpet and all that. And he's like, I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go see somebody. He's a good father. And I think that's really nice. And I do the same thing. He was down in DC, and it's like, okay, we're gonna change the schedule because we're gonna go see, he had a play there, we're gonna go see the play. And we chase each other around the country. So it's good. You look out in the audience. He was just in, where was he? New York. And it was a surprise. I hadn't really, said it. And so I'm sitting like there. And he looked, I could talk, and then Mama says, man, that looks like Nikki. It was good. But it's nice to have somebody that you love, that you can just pop up at.
Well, you said, because I'm a journalist, I was taking notes. Hold on, there was something that you said in the documentary, and I really encourage you to watch it. You said there was no point in me having trod the path that I trod if nobody else is going to be able to go further. Why is that so important to you to see other artists, other poets step up to the plate now?
I mean, you use the term so important. I don't know if I'd use that term. It's just important that you do the path. I'm a big fan of Venus Williams, who I think is just one, and I almost said, I was going to say, one of the nicest kids. Because when you get to be 80, they're all kids. Just one of the, I really like the way she just carries herself beautifully. And look at the path that Venus opened. And not only for her sister, who is the greatest tennis player in the world, and Serena was her baby sister. For sure. And look at all of them are now going back. And I'm a Fisk University.